Good morning, y'all. Happy Saturday. Good morning, kids. Love you. We're gonna make banana nut bread with a little streusel topping on it. I'm gonna break it up into videos to make it, piece it together to make it shorter and not so long. First thing you're gonna do, preheat your oven to 350. Do that. And then we're going to grease these pans. Sorry. It says 2 8-inch pans, the recipe that I use. I have an 8-inch and I'm using a 9-inch. It'll be okay. I'm using like Crisco shortening. You can use butter, whatever. Just want them greased and floured so that the breads will come out at the end. And this is how I do it. I don't know how y'all do it. I just flour it and then I shake that around in there. Over the sink. I'm over the sink, obviously. And then you do that to both of your pans. Okay? Then you have 2 greased and floured pans. Okay? It's that simple. I'll be back for the rest. Okay, y'all. We've floured and fixed our pans for baking. Now we're going to make a streusel topping. I have a half a cup of brown sugar in here. Half a cup of firmly packed brown sugar. I'm going to put in a half a cup of my chopped toasted pecans. Okay, we're going to put in a tablespoon of flour. Now I do have to look at my recipe. Tablespoon of flour. Stir that around. And it says a tablespoon of melted butter. That seems like an awful small amount of butter to me. I'm going to put in a couple tablespoons of butter, or maybe a tablespoon and a half. Oh, that's a couple tablespoons. Okay. Mine's not melted, but it's really soft. And also with the flour, butter, and some cinnamon. Of course, why would we do any baking without cinnamon? It says an 1/8 teaspoon. Just put in however much you like. And I'm going to mush this butter around in here. And it's just going to become a crumbly mixture, okay? And then whenever we get the batter in the pans ready to cook, we're going to just sprinkle this mixture over it and bake it. And then we'll have like a little streusel-y type topping on the top. Okay? It's simple to do. This is what you've got. I'm going to make sure that that butter's crumbled up in there good. Or, mixed up in there. And that's all you got to do. Okay? I'll be back. Okay. Your oven's on. Your pans are greased and floured. Get a separate bowl. 3 cups of flour. Half a teaspoon of baking soda. Half a teaspoon of baking powder. Half a teaspoon of salt. Mix it up in here because you're going to add this to your mixture in a little bit. Go ahead and mash up your bananas. If you've not made banana bread before, not ever dealt with bananas, and mine are not overly ripe. When they're really ripe, they just mash. But all you do is take a fork and mash them up, and they'll become soft and mushy, and they'll be ready to go in your bread. Okay? That's all you do. In case you've never made banana bread and never done it, that's how you do it. Mash them up. And you can use them pretty darn ripe. These are not that ripe. They're ripe, but they're not like overly ripe or anything. So, sorry, I just got a message. So this is what you're going to do, and it'll become a mushy mixture and ready to go in your recipe. Okay? Be back in a minute. The recipe calls for 1.5 cups of banana I had 3 large bananas, and it's measuring just about a cup and a half. So, you know, 3 or 4 bananas just till you get a cup and a half. All right. Okay, y'all, we're ready to make our batter. I have 8 ounces of cream cheese and a stick and a half of butter. I softened it in the microwave because I didn't think ahead, okay? And it's just soft. It's just soft to the touch, like, you know, not melted, but just soft enough so that you can cream it. And we're gonna cream it. Medium speed with your mixer. Now I'm going to show you. This is why you don't want it melted, because you want a light fluffy mixture, a light fluffy butter and cream cheese, okay? And then we're going to slowly add in the sugar. Oh, I got a little spritz of cinnamon in there. Now, back to blending or mixing. Add your, how many cups? 2 cups of sugar. I've already measured it out here. And this is going to be a light, creamy mixture. I'm going to show you. See how this looks? It's real light and creamy, okay? That's why you just want the stuff softened, not melted. Now, we're going to add the eggs one at a time. And beat them in. Next thing we're going to do is gradually stir in that flour mixture. Remember the flour, baking soda, baking powder, and salt that we mixed up a little bit ago. Remember that? Now this is what it's looking like. See? Let me make sure I don't miss anything. This is let me just read it so I get it right. Stick and a half of butter softened, an 8-ounce package of cream cheese, 2 cups of sugar beat in, 2 large eggs. Now we're going to do the flour, baking powder, soda, and salt mixture, okay? I just don't want to forget and leave something out, then y'all's not turn out good. I am not going to lie, I put a sprinkling of cinnamon in mine just because I like cinnamon. If you don't put it in, but I do like it. And let me see what, this is such an old recipe. Beat at low speed just until blended, okay? This really is easy, y'all. As you can see, it's just getting the stuff together and getting it done. Now it's going to look a little dry. See? It's a much stiffer consistency now. But we're going to add in our 1.5 cups of mashed banana. Remember that we mashed a while ago? And look, this just been sitting, and look how soft. It just gets very soft. That's what you want in your banana bread. We're going to add that and a teaspoon of vanilla, okay? Or a lid full. Ooh. Well, I just added almond extract. Oh my Lord. Honestly, probably won't hurt it. Double check your labels before you add stuff. I can't believe I just did that. That's a first. A teaspoon of vanilla. Almond extract is really good in baked goods, so it'll probably be just fine. Who knows? I may want to do it from now on. Anyway, let me stir this up. Point being, it's not the end of the world. I'm still making this bread. It's going to have almond extract in it, and I'll tell you if I can taste it or not. All right, but it's also going to have the vanilla. Let me stir it up. And now we're just going to stir in the pecans. Those toasted pecans that we used. Let me smell. It smells good, whatever the case may be. Hey, things happen. Things happen in the kitchen. You make mistakes. Hopefully they're ones that don't ruin that don't ruin everything, okay? That actually called for 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla, but I used a lid, which is probably more like 1/2 teaspoon. I don't know. I like vanilla. Okay, 1 cup of chopped pecans into our batter. These are some of those toasted chopped pecans that I did earlier. I should have played that off and pretended like it was just vanilla. But hey, I'll be honest. Things happen. Now this is a very light and airy dough. I'm fixing to show you. See? It's very light dough. I don't mean light calorie-wise, I mean light texture-wise. Okay, let me make sure that I have everything. Bananas, pecans, vanilla. Yeah, I got it. Plus almond extract, salt, baking soda, baking powder, flour, eggs, sugar. Always double check your recipe, because there's a lot of times you get to the end of it and you don't have everything. Oh my gosh, I forgot this or I forgot that. Now all we're going to do is put it in these pans that we prepared. That's why we wanted the pans already prepared, so it's not a pain at the end, okay? Now I have an 8-inch and a 9-inch. It calls for 2 8-inches, but it'll be okay. The 9-inch just probably won't be as tall as the 8-inch one. I'm just going to, as best I can, divide them up between these 2 pans. That's all we're doing. Smooth it out there. Hang on, I need my... I need my other set of hands, actually. Okay. Then I'm just smoothing it out. Fill them about 2/3, 3/4 full, something like that. Now, remember our streusel that we made? We're going to sprinkle that on the top of these. And then we're going to pop them in the oven. These breads are not quick breads, you know, that are not yeast based. They're not hard to make. I mean, you might, and banana bread, pumpkin bread's even easier. Okay. Here's the streusel. Ew, that was loud, sorry. Sprinkle it on the top. And if you don't want streusel on the top, omit this part and just have plain banana bread. Millie, come here. There she comes. She knows when I tap my foot, there's something for her. This is the the brown sugar, pecans, flour, butter mixture. All right. And now, all I'm going to do, brown sugar and butter on my hands. Now all I'm going to do is pop these in the oven, and I'll be back with you in a little bit. Okay, y'all, here we are. We're going to just pop them in the oven. Like that. And set it on an hour. They're supposed to cook for an hour. And we will be testing them with a long pick to be sure that they are done. 350. 1 hour. See in a little bit. I'm going to show y'all how this is, how you can tell they're done. This is the smaller pan right here. This is the smaller pan. And I'm sticking my toothpick in there. It's actually more than a toothpick. See, it's clean. So that means that it's done. There's a crumb there, but okay, the bigger pan has the bigger loaf in it. There's a lot of moisture on there. It's not quite done. Okay, it won't be long, but I was just going to show you how you tell when it's done. All right, I'm going to set it over here and let it be cooling for a little bit. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, y'all, they've been over here just cooling for a minute. It says about 10 minutes, okay? And do you know to run a knife around the edge so that when you go to undo it, just take your knife and run it right around the edge to loosen it up. Anyway, I've already done that to this smaller one. The smaller one's been sitting here a while. This one just came out. It had to cook longer because it was bigger. I'm gonna move y'all over here so you can see. I'm just gonna pop it out. And then they're gonna cool for like 30 minutes at least on these racks here. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. Now, see? You've got that crumb topping on there. It's gonna be so yummy. I'll come back whenever they're sliced up. Banana bread is easy to make. It's not magic, it's not voodoo, it's easy. You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. All right, hey, y'all, time to wrap it up. These have been cooling. It's been cooling probably 30 minutes at least. It's ready to cut. See? It's done all the way through. I'm gonna get me a little piece here and I'm gonna put a little bit of butter on it and see what it tastes like. Oh yeah, look how nice that cuts. It's crumbly. Crumbly, crumbly. Maybe you don't put butter on yours. Do you eat homemade bread when it's warm from the oven without butter? If you are, I don't know you. Let's see. It's good. It's very good. The nuts are delicious in it. Good texture. Good crumb. It's great. Any bread recipe, any banana bread recipe you have, it's the same basic process. If you can do one banana bread recipe, you can do another. Others don't call for cream cheese. Maybe they call for oil or whatever. It's okay. You can do it. If you just watch how I did all that, it's a simple process. Make you some banana bread for the holidays. Ain't nobody gonna complain, I promise. Love you.